Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Crispin, and welcome to this week's live session where we're going to be talking about chapters 10 and 12. So let's get started here. Here's tonight's presentation, again featuring chapters 10 and 12. Tonight's agenda is as follows. Welcome to the lecture for Introduction to International Business. This is Dr. Crispin again, and this session's focus again will be on chapters 10 and 12 of the International Business by Collison, Narula, and Rugman, our textbook. The importance and relevance tonight of our presentation is to the marketing and navigating the global economy, a core theme of the course. And we're going to highlight that today's lecture addresses how U.S. companies compete globally, as shown by Objective 1 of our curricula, of our syllabus, which is managing cultural differences. Objective 2, which is develop multinational strategies. Objective 3, and operate in key markets like the EU, China, and Japan. And Objective 4. So the session will use real-world examples such as Tesla, Nike, and include discussion questions to encourage critical thinking. So all of you are encouraged to watch closely, take notes, and use this information as necessary in your assignments. So tonight's introduction is going to be about the importance to United States companies as new markets, access to growing economies such as China's consumer market. We'll talk about cost efficiencies. Global sourcing reduces production costs, as in the example of Apple's supply chain in Asia. And we'll talk about competitive advantage, innovation through global R&D networks. And we'll also highlight challenges such as political systems, trade policies such as tariffs, and and how they can affect operations. There are cultural differences and they influence business styles and consumer behavior. There are also trade barriers and ethical issues, and these require careful navigation, for instance, ethical sourcing concerns. There are U.S. firms like Walmart expand globally but face cultural and regulatory hurdles in markets like India. And we're going to talk about in Chapter 10 how companies address these challenges and hurdles. A long-term plan to achieve competitive advantage in global markets by leveraging firm-specific advantages, such as known as FSAs, and country-specific advantages known as CSAs. FSAs, unique capabilities like technology, brand, or management expertise, as in Apple, innovation. CSAs, or again, country-specific advantages, are national strengths like infrastructure, labor, or market size. An example would be China's manufacturing scale. Next are about national competencies. They are a country's ability to create an environment that fosters innovation and productivity, enabling firms to compete globally. And there are key frameworks from Chapter 10, and one such framework is Porter's diamond analysis, which demonstrates the national advantages through factor conditions, demand, industries, and rivalry. And also Dunning's eclectic paradigm, which explains multinational corporations' investment decisions based on ownership, location, and internationalization advantages. MNCs use these frameworks to craft strategies that exploit national strengths. Here we'll talk about Porter's diamond framework, shown in Chapter 10 as a tool to understand national competitiveness, factor conditions, resources such as U.S. R&D infrastructure, skilled labor, or capital. Some demand conditions would be sophisticated local consumers, which drive innovation, for instance, the U.S. tech market. Related supporting industries such as strong supplier networks, for instance, Germany's automotive suppliers. Firm strategy structure, such as rivalry, competitive dynamics, shape firm performance, as in the U.S. tech industry, U.S. tech rivalries. Firms use these factors to compete globally. An example would be in Silicon Valley's tech firms leverage U.S. factor conditions such as talent in universities and demand tech-savvy consumers. Companies gain global advantages by leveraging national strengths. The next slide is going to visualize Porter's diamond framework. The Porter diamond model includes four attributes. The Porter diamond model analyzes a nation's advantage against four broad attributes that each nation establishes and operates for its industries. The first one is factor conditions. This attribute defines the nation's position in factors of production, such as labor, land, natural resources, capital, or infrastructure necessary to compete in a given industry. Number two, demand conditions. The second attribute of the Porter diamond model refers to the nature of home market demand for industries, products, or services. And number three, related and supporting industries. And this attribute reveals the presence of or absence in the nation of supplies industries and other related industries are internationally competitive. And finally, number four, firm strategy structure and rivalry. The firm strategy structure and rivalry attribute highlights the conditions in the nation governing how companies are created, organized, and managed, as well as the nature of the domestic competition. Next, we'll introduce the integration responsiveness framework shown in Chapter 10 to explain the multinational corporation strategies, global, such as integration, standardizing products, services for efficiency, such as Coca-Cola's consistent formula worldwide. Local responsiveness would be adapting to local markets, such as McDonald's offers rice-based items in Asia. Transnational, meaning balancing both for efficiency and relevance. For instance, Unilever's global brands with local variations. Some key decisions would discuss entry modes such as joint ventures, foreign direct investment, or FDI, or exports based on market conditions. Resource allocations would be prioritizing markets with strong CSAs, for instance, manufacturing in China. Another example is Starbucks uses a transnational strategy, standardizing its brand but adapting menus, for instance, matcha lattes in Japan. And tying this to some of the objectives, MNCs must choose strategies that align global goals with local needs. Tesla is one of our case studies to illustrate integration, standardized EV technology, such as same battery systems worldwide, local responsiveness. China's Gigafactory adapts to local regulations and consumer preferences, for instance, affordable models in China. National competitiveness leverages U.S. innovation, R&D in California, and China's manufacturing scale. It's important to know that see that Tesla balances FSAs with technology, branding, with CSAs, U.S. innovation, Chinese production. Here's a question to consider. How does Tesla balance global and local priorities? The following is a photo of an upcoming new Tesla Gigafactory in Nevada, where Tesla is to invest $3.6 billion for Gigafactory in Nevada, which is the phase 2 of the semi-production, and the entirety of the second phase of the Gigafactory Nevada will pump nearly 1,000 gigawatts per year into 4,680 production and build the new semi in a high volume capacity. And this has an opportunity to disrupt the whole trucking and freight business. Here's an explanation. Marketing is critical to international business, and it drives customer engagement in diverse markets and supports corporate strategies. Marketing strategies reflect the integration responsiveness framework, balancing global brand consistency with local preferences. Unilever's Dove brand maintains global consistency but adapts campaigns to cultural norms. For instance, the body positive in the US, skin whitening in Asia. And here's a note about national competitiveness. For instance, consumer behavior shapes marketing decisions. There are key marketing challenges shown in Chapter 12. One of them is cultural differences, which values norms and communication styles vary. For instance, in Japan's collectivist culture versus the U.S. individualistic culture. Regulatory variations consist of advertising laws, for instance, EU's GDPR, and product standards differences across markets. Market diversity consists of consumer preferences and purchasing power vary globally. Cultural intelligence is the understanding local consumer behavior to tailor marketing strategies effectively. An example would be Pepsi's translation errors in China led to culturally insensitive ads, highlighting the need for cultural intelligence. Standardization adaptation continuum discusses uniform products and marketing globally, but cost savings and brand consistency. For example, Apple's iPhone design. Adaptation would be tailored products and marketing to local markets for relevance. For instance, Nestle's green tea Kit Kat in Japan. There are benefits and trade-offs. Standardization reduces costs but risks irrelevance in diverse markets. Adaptation increases cost but enhances local appeal. And as the Japanese would say, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Apple standardizes iPhone branding globally but adapts features such as dual SIM cards in China. The EU market consists of diverse cultures and language, but unified regulations, for instance, GDPR. High purchasing power and sophisticated consumers demand quality. Regional branding balances EU-wide consistency within local adaptation. Compliance, strict adherence to environmental and ethical regulations. An example would be L'Oreal's eco-friendly campaigns aligned with EU sustainability values. Here's a description of China's market. Rapidly growing, digitally first. For instance, WeChat is dominant, a dominant digital force, strict government regulations on advertising and data. They have an active censoring culture in China. Highlight strategies such as local partnerships, collaborations with Alibaba or Tencent for market access. Some cultural campaigns would consist of Lunar New Year promotions, resonate with local traditions. KFC's localized menu, for instance, Kongi, and WeChat marketing drive success. Japan's market consists of high quality expectations and strong brand loyalty. Collectivist culture influence unique consumer behaviors. Some of the strategies would be premium branding, emphasizes quality and exclusivity. Seasonal marketing, such as Sakura-themed products, align with cultural events. Coca-Cola's seasonal packaging, for instance, cherry blossom design, boosts appeal. These are tied to Japan's trade environment, and it supports niche, high-quality marketing. Here's Nike as a case study, shown in Chapter 12. Standardization consists of global, just do it. The campaign ensures brand consistency. An example of adaptation is region-specific endorsements, for instance, of EU football stars, Chinese basketball players. And cultural intelligence would consist of campaigns that reflect local values such as teamwork in Japan. Nike as a case study would shows standardization. Just do it. The campaign ensures brand consistency. So in summary, the core concepts: corporate strategy, multinational corporations leverage FSAs, for instance, technology, and CSAs, for instance, national infrastructure to compete globally, national competitiveness, Porter's Diamond and Dunning's frameworks guide strategies, decisions. Marketing strategies balances standardization and adaptation to meet global and local competitiveness, local needs. Cultural intelligence uh, discusses critical for tailoring marketing to diverse markets, and global markets such as EU, China, and Japan require unique trade and marketing strategies. The importance of international business for U.S. companies is thriving in the global economy requires strategic alignment with natural competitiveness and local market needs. Corporate and marketing strategies must integrate FSAs, CSAs, and the cultural intelligence to succeed globally. And you may want to explore these concepts further and applying them into your assignments. What challenges do U.S. firms face in the EU is a good question. China, Japan. Be prepared to clarify these concepts of Porter's Diamond and so forth. Well, everyone, thank you all for your attention. This concludes the formal portion of our presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out. I've been, again, continued to be impressed by your quality of your and dedication of your work and your assignments. Thank you so much for getting them in on time. If you have any questions or comments about upcoming assignments, please reach out. I'd be happy to discuss them with you. And in the meantime, I'll see you in class. Good night, everybody.